Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waharakah Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there, the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Now I want to deal with this recent video that's just come out with Elon, which we already told you about Elon. Elon is just another cult character that's created to help push the agenda of the elites. All right, another fabricated cult character. All right, if I was watching a video the other day where dudes were exposing his whole gamer persona is completely fake. But listen, this is the way of the world. Most of these people that you see on your TV and or on in the spotlight are manufactured individuals. A lot of what you think you know about them is being real by the media is just fake. All right, that's just how the game goes. But anyway, he going into this AI stuff. So I want to read a little bit of what this guy had to say about what Elon was talking about in this video. All right. He said, not gonna lie, Elon's vision of AI in 10 years is kind of terrifying, which the timeline is gonna be, here and there, right? But we know they got the agenda 2030. So they're really pushing hard to push through this fourth industrial revolution. Klaus Schwab said it's gonna come at breakneck speed. All right. And the Trump administration, all right, who they've positioned as being anti-globalist, was pushing all the globalist agendas, showing how retarded the people are, is going to accelerate the agenda. Revelation 12 and 12, which we're going to get. It says he foresees there will be billions of humanoid robots. 90% of all miles driven will be driven by self-driving autonomous vehicles. 5 years from now, 50%. How many jobs will go away because of AI? He says goods and services will become close to free. Now, you should always be scared when someone's telling you about everything being free. He says goods and services. Buying and selling is all about the exchange of goods and services. Remember that. And we've been telling you for years that the motb, you're going to need to have that chip in order to get access to goods and services. All right. That UBI, that universal basic income. Okay. And it's coming. They're preparing as we speak. They're preparing the infrastructure and preparing the necessary psychological operations and the crisis to push the people into accepting this shit. Right? He says goods and services will become close to free because billions of robots will provide you with anything you want for next to nothing. He says the challenge will be fulfillment. How do you drive fulfillment and meaning in life in people's lives? Kind of sounds like that one WEF guy, Yuval Harari, where he talks about what we should do with all these useless eaters. Exactly. You see, all they've done is create a character that they've positioned to appeal to the right wing. But he's speaking the same thing if you just listen to him. But because of how they've positioned him and Trump, they now are able to push the agenda on the right-hand side. And the right wingers would usually be against this kind of stuff because they've bought into the cult of personality and the character and all the theater and the media bullshit, the left-right fighting and all that crap. They just going along with it. All right. It says, when asked how real is the prospect of AI robots taking over the world, Elon says 20% in 5 to 10 years. Ted Cruz and Elon's view is to win the AI race over China. So they're making it look like They have to push this agenda because they're competing with China. When the actual truth is that this is a coordinated effort that's been coordinated by the global powers on top to bring in the MOTB system. But they're making it look like it's happening naturally through competition, but it's not. All right, it's all orchestrated. Elon believes America is and will win the race to AI, and one of the keys to winning that race is to be the country that makes the AI chips. He points out that Taiwan makes 100% of all advanced AI chips, so they want to start making these chips in the West as well now. Now, when you go into this clip, everything he's talking about is basically people are going to be made unemployed, mass unemployment. And then so there's going to have to be a solution to that. All right. And that's where you're going to get your UBI, and the people are going to be at the mercy of the system, because the system doesn't really need people no more. And so when you see these men talking about they're putting tariffs and they're going to bring manufacturing back to America, what type of manufacturing are they bringing back to America, if they bring back any at all? Because most people are not going to move their factories to America just like that, like instantly. No, what's happening around the world is people through modernization are being replaced in the market, in the industry, by AI and robots. And the more people get replaced by AI or robots, the more unemployed people there are, the lower wages are relatively, because more people are then going for the same jobs, right? And they're doing this across the board, and they're not going to bring back good paying jobs for everyone. That era is done, and they're telling you that because they're trying to push towards this you will own nothing and push this MOPB. And so we're living in a situation where they've set up a current system that is gonna get harder and harder for people to live. Things are gonna get more and more unattainable, more and more expensive for people. And like I always tell you, the crisis is going to get worse and worse and worse, and the people are going to look for a solution. And the solution that they're going to bring is this new system, this new AI system, and they're going to sell it to you like, listen, if we bring this system in with the AI, everybody's going to get taken care of. It's all going to be fair and blah blah blah. Don't worry, you don't have to worry about owning a house or owning a car. You'll get access to all these things. Just take this chip. And that's what's coming down the pipeline. So when Trump and them are telling you they're gonna make America great again, I understand. They're not trying to make America great again. This is not what's on the agenda. What's on the agenda is to bring in the MOTB system, which means the American people, just like the British people, just like the French people, just like the everyone needs to be brought to their knees in order to beg for something new. And that's what you see happening across the board, whether it's America, whether it's Britain, whether it's France, whether it's Germany. They all these different crises, Ukraine crisis, all these different things are doing one thing and one thing only. The people at the top, they're just fine, but everyone else below is more and more pain. They're getting squeezed more and more and more and more under this current system because they're preparing for the new system. So in order to transition you to the new system, you need to want to leave the old system. So they're gonna implode everything. They're gonna destroy these economies. They're gonna kill you with debt, kill you with inflation, kill you with joblessness or underemployment. Right? Chaos, crisis. Right? Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. Right? They're gonna say, listen, in this system, the AI will control all the resources so everyone can get their fair share. But in order to do that, that means we need to have everything accounted for and everybody accounted for. We need to bank the unbankable. This time, the last system, there were people that were left behind, but now nobody's going to get left behind because everybody's going to be chipped and everyone's going to be part of this new system. You know, this is what's coming down the pipeline, man. and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so this in order to bring this new system, this current system here has to fail, and it's designed to fail, and they'll make it fail. But when these things happen, it's for us to understand and be like, yep, the salvation is not going to be in whatever these people offer. The salvation is going to be in Yahweh Shai. In fact, let me get up here. Look, we got to overcome this devil. Revelations 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Ahamashayak. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Because this devil wants to put us in a situation where we pledge ourselves to him. Right? We bow down to him. That's what it means. When you take that motb, that means that you bow down and you worship Esau Edom. All right? All right? When you take that mark, man, it's an act of idolatry. That means you worship the beast. All right? You pledge yourself to the beast. You join yourself onto the beast, and you reject the power of Yahweh Shai. You reject his salvation. All right? You sought to save your life through the beast instead of saving your life through the word and the power and the faith of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right? And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Right? You got to stay faithful to the Lord unto death. The Lord has commanded us, no, don't receive that mark. That mark is the implantable RFID chip, which means we are to reject this man's offer. All right? And let the chips fall where they may. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right? They got this thing set up. They're talking about 2030, and they're talking about wrapping up this new world order before then. They want to achieve all these goals before then. And how do you think them goals are gonna achieve? Through blood, chaos, pain. And that's why we've been telling you, that's what's coming down the pipeline, man. That is exactly what's coming down the pipeline. And it's gonna get worse and worse and worse, which is all in line with prophecy. The birth pangs, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. It fast approaches, man. These people are not playing no games. They really trying to establish themselves in the earth. But that's all right, cause we ain't playing no games. we really pushing this word. So you do what you gotta do, Esau, and we gonna do what we gotta do. All right. But like I said, most of these people, man, they're stupid. They're retarded. Why is that? What? You know, these are mostly working class right wingers that are looking up to Trump, thinking Trump's gonna save them. Meanwhile, Trump's right-hand man is telling you, you ain't even going to have a job. That AI is going to take your job. So if you ain't got a job, what you going to do? Oh, you're going to basically live off the government. That's what they're saying. That's exactly what they're saying, man. You're going to live and die by the government. That's what they want. Universal basic income. And to get to that, there's a lot of shit that's going to have to go down. And they're in the process of preparing that. All right. So yeah, this was an interesting clip. I'll put the link if you wanna, or you could just search it up, the Ted Cruz podcast, and you can hear this character push the agenda, man. All right, Shalom.